Hello and welcome back to Outsiders. I'm here with the Reagan-esque Rita Panahi, the re-electable Rowan Dean, and of course, I'm James Morrow, here with all the latest news from the circus that is U.S. politics. Now, you and I both know that there are some media outlets in the U.S. that act, well, essentially as unregistered agents of the Democratic Party. But sometimes it doesn't work out quite as they hope. Take CNN, which decided in its infinite wisdom that nothing would rev up enthusiasm for the Democrats like, wait for it, a 7-hour climate change town hall. I know, right? The very thought is enough to make your eyeballs bleed, which is, in fact, exactly what happened to Joe Biden. Look closely at the following clip.
Have to reconfigure what's going on. When we did the Paris Accord that they signed on to, it was agreed that we would constantly up the ante the nations would agree to, contingent upon what the science dictated and the extent of the problem. We have to up the ante, what's going on.
In case you didn't catch it, here's a close-up. Sorry about that. But if you thought that was something, sit back and enjoy this, because here's a mashup of what other candidates had to say about everything from red meat to plastic straws to nuclear energy to confiscating cars and forcing Americans to pay for abortions for women in poor countries.
Guidelines.
Yes.
The food pyramid. But people
yes.
To reduce red meat specifically.
Yes, I would.
Do you ban plastic straws?
I think we should. Yes.
So would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes.
Just today, the Trump administration announced plans to overturn requirements on energy-saving light bulbs. Would you reinstate those requirements as president?
If you can get electricity from a light bulb that utilizes 1/10 of the power that an old incandescent light bulb used, of course you're going to do that.
We have to take combustion engine vehicles off the road as rapidly as we can.
Educating everyone on the need to curb population growth seems a reasonable campaign to enact. Would you be courageous enough to discuss this issue and make it a key feature of a plan to address climate catastrophe?
Well, Martha, the answer is yes. I think especially in poor countries around the world where women do not necessarily want to have large numbers of babies and where they can have the opportunity through birth control to control the number of kids they have, something I very, very strongly support.
Let's talk about offshore drilling for oil. Would you ban it?
Yes.
Would you ban offshore drilling? Absolutely yes. We will transition off of fossil fuels, natural gas, coal, oil. What about the export of fossil fuels from the United States? Would you ban that? Absolutely, we must get to that point.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
I'm in favor of a carbon-free America.
In my administration, we're not going to build any new nuclear power plants.
Crazy stuff, scary stuff even, particularly if any of these guys wins. But not quite as scary as what life must be like for poor Beto O'Rourke's kid, whose dad is not only polling at 3% but still believes he's going to be president, but is also telling the poor little fella that his hometown of El Paso will be left uninhabitable due to, you guessed it, climate change.
My son Henry, who's 8 years old, when I was talking to him the other night, he asked me, Dad, if you win and you become president, we get to live in El Paso, right? And I said, no, if we win the way this works, we would live in Washington, D.C. But he knew, because I had told him about the warming that we face, that our community will be uninhabitable, will not sustain human life along this current trajectory unless something dramatically and fundamentally changes.
Imagine scaring a kid like that, honestly. But look, as far as I'm concerned, the only way Texas winds up uninhabitable is if Kamala Harris wins and bans eating red meat. I mean, what's Texas without barbecue, right? Trump must be sitting back and laughing. Though there is a lot that can happen between now and November, the Democrats are going to have to try a lot harder to win back middle America than telling them that under their administration, the government is coming for their plastic straws and steaks. Now, I mean, can you believe these guys? It's red meat, it's straws, it's cars, it's fracking, it's cheeseburgers, it's energy, it's natural gas. We're all going to be...
Obama was behind fracking. I mean, fracking has completely revolutionized how Americans source energy. It has been an absolute boom.
It's been a complete...
And reduced emissions.
Yeah, but remember, the key word in what you say there is revolution. And for the hard left, they actually don't want, I'm convinced, a sustainable economy with baseload power that's cheap and powers a capitalist economy. They want to bring on the revolution, and they want to bring on socialism, and you can't do that if everybody's got electricity.